and gentlemen, we are live. We are live on a Thursday night. Welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. We are set and ready to go with all the previews for this weekend's action. So much to talk about, so much to get into. But we got TNA Emergence, we got NXT No Mercy, and WWE Bash in Berlin, which will be Brunch with the Boys number 13. We got so much to get into. Our predictions, our thoughts, our spoilers, if you will. Get in that chat, click all the buttons, be a part of the fun. Strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is our preview and predictions for multiple shows. Plus, I'm sure we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other things as we go along here. But for the next few hours, you're going to be strapped in with us, and we are going to go through the major cards for this weekend. So much wrestling coming your way. But before we get started off and I introduce us, I will remind everyone we got tons of stuff coming up on this channel. We got tons to get into. Pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and we are the channel that just watches more live wrestling than anybody else out there. But without further ado, I will remind you, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That's the Chapeau, and that's Nick.
You did it backwards. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream trios, champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White, the Chapeau that runs the show, Ringside Anthony, and I am Big Nick. And yes, my guy, we got 3 pay-per-views we got to talk about tonight. Just 3 already. 3. Are we sure we couldn't find 4, 5, 6, 7?
It's a 4th, but we're not going to talk about it. So.
Yeah.
It never seems like it stops, my friends. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm good. I feel like I haven't been here in like a month, but it's only been 2 weeks. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking about Emergence and Bash in Berlin and No Mercy. I think all 3 have stellar cards. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. If you're a wrestling fan right now, again, we talk about this a lot on this channel. There's a lot to like. If you pick one specific brand or one specific style, you're missing out on a lot of good wrestling out there. So for my money, as wrestling fans right now in 2024, we are spoiled, and the cards are looking good, Nick.
Absolutely. It's right now, it's a wealth of riches when it comes to pro wrestling. From last weekend, we had All In, to now we've got Bash in Berlin, we've got No Mercy, we've got, TNA, we've got literally every sort of type of wrestling, every company you could want covered, pretty much. Pretty much. But folks, get in that chat. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. We will get your 2 cents on what you think is going to happen at these pay-per-views and how you feel about the shows that are coming up. We're extremely excited to be covering them live. We got more coming your way. We're working on some more things. And before we get into each pay-per-view, I will remind everybody we are now in the midst of the channel's annual fundraiser as we raise money for the North American World Literacy Foundation. Yes, it's a real thing. A couple of people are like, is that legit? No, we didn't make it up. Yes, Nick? I was just going to say, well, the man needs it. So 100%. If anything, just help support the man. He needs it.
The more people that can read on a higher level, the more people that are more likely to stop listening to that man speak.
Yeah.
But there you go. So, folks, go to our shop. There's 2 options. There's the blue logo and there's the black logo, black and red. Go check that out. All profits, every penny of the profits go to the North American World Literacy Foundation. So go check that out. Be a part of that. And go check out all our merch. We are stacked. We got more coming your way, but tank tops, t-shirts, crop tops, and everything else in between, including
Sorry.
There you go. And I will remind everybody, tomorrow we are back for the mega stream. 4 shows, Capital Collision, SmackDown, Emergence, and Rampage. And then, of course, the 2 pay-per-views, Sunday No Mercy, 6:30 p.m. live, and 11 a.m. live for Bash in Berlin. But with all the call-outs, we're covering that much wrestling, folks. With all those call-outs, folks, it seems fitting. We shall jump into Bash and Berlin to start this one off. Just off the cuff, how are we feeling about this one?
I personally feel like the card is pretty good. I'm excited for I think we got Gunther and Randy Orton. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the Twins versus Dom and Liv Morgan. Yeah, I think the card is pretty good. I'm excited for Bash in Berlin. I think it's going to be hopefully better than what we saw at All In. But yeah, I'm excited for Bash in Berlin.
It to me has a wee bit of like the Backlash vibes, kind of that kind of card level. Some of these I feel like we kind of pretty much know who it's going to go with or what have you. But I still, most of the time when they have a pay-per-view like that, they really still deliver on the back end with it, and the matches really show up. And it's going to be interesting to see them in Berlin. I don't recall seeing them over in Germany before. They never hassled the Hoff or anything.
No, they did that video that went back to when like Bret Hart was there. Like that's what we're looking at when it comes to Germany and major shows. So like we're going way back. So it'll be fun. Again, the international crowds have been great. So we're hoping for the energy to be in the building. Hopefully the chants come back, the sing-alongs come back. I saw some clips of WWE in Austria. I turned into R-Truth there for a second. Austria, and yeah, I mean, they're right into it. So we're looking forward to that. Now, what?
I was just going to say we won't be able to sing along with the chants because we won't know what they're saying.
Maybe not. The French. I mean, it seems like they just sing it in English, whatever they're singing. But last time we had to learn
do the Arnold, yeah,
right. The 2 count chant we had to get a translator for in France. So we'll see.
Right.
All right. Well, without further ado, we won't keep it. Actually, you know what? I'll say hello, Bradley, JP, Roman. I see you, Kira. Remember, folks, super chat and super sticker is your way to guarantee you get clicked on. MD's back, Rising Anthony, Dale, OG in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you, Trey. Welcome back, Roman, Robert, Geekbox, our favorite second box. Go check out Geekbox. Wrestling Proud is with us. Haseen, and so many more. If I missed your name, I apologize. But remember, super chat, super stickers, if you want to make sure you get in there.
Right.
All right, sirs. First match. The Unholy Union taking on 2/3 of Destiny's Child.
I know Triple H said that he didn't give the Unholy Union the titles because they were in their home city, but I'm wholeheartedly believing that's why he gave them the titles. Bring them back home to 2/3 of Destiny's Child, the big 3. I want them to hold the titles again. I want the titles to be a part of the dissension of, if that happens, of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. There, and I feel like it might be some tension there down the line with potentially Naomi as well. But yeah, I need the big 3 or 2/3 of the big 3 to bring the titles back home.
Okay, Mr. Nick.
I think, well, you nailed it with saying that this is going to cause the dissension and start the downward spiral between Jade and Bianca, and we'll start to see the Fisher lines form here because they ain't taking those titles back. I don't think it makes sense to sit there and hot potato back to them and everything like that. I like what's going on with the Unholy Union. They feel like they're more, I don't want to say beatable as a tag team, but like if Bianca and Jay get those tag belts back, it's going to be, I think, hard pressed before you find another team that could beat them and believably beat them. I want to say, I mean, maybe now that they've been beaten, maybe it shows that they've been beaten once, they can be beaten again. But I don't think it makes sense if you just put it on Unholy Union. They've had maybe a 2-month reign at most with them. I'd still keep it over there, and that keeps the tension going between Bianca and Jade.
Yeah, I should have picked before you because that's exactly what I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
I advocated for Unholy Union. Everyone knows what a giant mark I am for the Unholy Union, especially one half of that team. But I think they're outstanding. And to Anthony's point, I think if they give the belts back, it was just like, we waited a couple weeks so you guys wouldn't think it had anything to do with Scotland. So I do like the idea that they retain the titles. And I think Berlin might be the start of the downfall of Jade, Bianca, Naomi. They've all had kind of a weird relationship as of late, not that cohesive. So yeah, maybe a second loss by the two of the big three causes a rift.
Now, is there a tag team that you guys could see if Jade and Bianca win that could still be competitive for the tag titles or anything like that against Jade and Bianca?
I think what is it? The Pure Fusion Collective Dragon Ball Z.
Lasagna.
I think
I
they
was going
could
there.
potentially beat Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Yep. I mean, super dominant. That's why we were shocked when they won it in the first place. So they are so strong and a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, if they get it back, you're going to be hard pressed. I think the women's tag team division is a little more exciting with Alba and Isla doing their thing. They've been in NXT. They've gone to Raw. They've gone to SmackDown. We've talked about this before, but it's my opinion that the women's tag team division has actually been stronger than the men's in WWE. So keep them with the belts, and then you have a nice story between the other two ladies.
And the Sky Pirates, I could say, is a believable team that could potentially beat them, but that's more of just on them being an established tag team. Does the women's division, last question when it comes to this match, does the women's division on SmackDown need Bianca and Jade as singles competitors versus a tag team with the tag team titles to really bolster that challengers division with Nia Jax as champion right now?
I don't think so.
I was just about to say the same thing. I think they got Tiffany doing well. They got Meechin really kind of building her up for the first time in a very long time. You got Nia Jackson. I know Bailey will be back soon. I don't think she's injured or anything. She's just off television. So yeah, I don't think we need Jade and Bianca as singles competitors just yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with that, Anthony. I think that there's still enough talent. Like, need is a strong word. Would they do it because they think it would help it? Yeah, but if they don't do it, I think the women's division is still pretty strong across the board. And we still got a list of names that we're waiting to come back, right? The Charlottes. Now, if Charlotte's getting close to a recovery, maybe that's why Jade is about to get single and solo, because they may be setting up Jade and Charlotte, which is a money match.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one pitched, but we'll talk about that later.
All right. Let's see what the chat said real quick. 64% for the unholy. There you go.
So almost though, pretty close though.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that Jade and Bianca aren't just outright favorites. That
right.
They, 2 out of 3 on the screen plus the chat is taking the unholy. So that's crazy.
Well, I think it goes to show what Unholy Union's done with the tag belts and everything. And we kind of had been wanting them to at least be featured in the tag team division for quite a while.
Yeah, we begged for it. Ask and ye shall receive. And they've done great. And what Anthony brought up is my biggest fear is if they drop the belts in Berlin, it feels like, everybody kind of knew we just gave the belts to you because of the location, but we didn't want to tip our hand too much, so we gave them a bit of a run, but now give it back. I'd like to see them retain, and then if they lose it after this, then all bets are off. It was a fair run.
Yeah, and you get more of that tension between Bianca and Jade if they can't reclaim the titles. Then you start to see maybe the what the fuck are you doing out there, bro? Type of conversations happen. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, folks, keep it coming. Keep it in that chat as we will move on to anyone else have any final thoughts on the what I believe will be one of the early matches of the show?
No, that might even open it.
Could.
Right.
All right, the big grudge match. And I think this is one thing about the card when we talked about, like, there's a good amount of excitement going into this card because of matches like this. This is going to be chaos. This is going to be very intriguing, and there's a lot of possibilities. So whoever wants to grab the floor on this one, I'm all ears.
I would love to see Liv and Dom pick up the victory here. I think they should. I really think this should be I don't want to use the term one-sided, but I feel like this should be heavily one-sided for a minute until we get closer to maybe Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Towards Liv and Dom. A friend of mine pointed out something on the Terror Twin side. I understand that Rhea Ripley will eventually probably get back the Women's World Championship.
Yes.
But what does Damian Priest get out of this other than revenge for Finn Balor? Because he's not in the world title picture right now. So that's why I kind of feel like I think this needs to be one-sided for a little bit longer, with Liv and Dom, and then we can potentially get the other side of the revenge with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest.
Right. Mr. Nicholas?
I didn't know if you wanted to go first, sir, because I cut off with I did the same thing you were going to do last time. I'm taking the Terra Twins for this. I know I hear you with saying it being one-sided and everything like that. I do want it to kind of have that back and forth feel, especially because we've still got to break, like you said, Priest out of this to go and take on Finn. And I really like where they've gone with the Terra Twins right now. Like Damian Priest, we've talked about it on Raw constantly, of he's a whole new man now after all of this. So I think he needs the win. I think Rhea needs some sort of vindication with this. It could even be to where Dom gets the pin and Rhea pins Dom. That could be the final pinfall in this match.
Right?
Almost.
Is that even legal?
Perhaps depends on what rules you want to go with here. I don't know.
Depends on the day of the week, KJ.
Well, I mean, Rhea's been out there slamming Luke Gallows and everything like that.
Right.
So I don't think she'd be too, opposed to Dom versus, her in the ring, because I think that could be a potential possibility at some point in this feud. Is it's an actual one-on-one match between Dom and Rhea Ripley. This is what you could do intergender and make it work.
Really? Okay.
I think so. Rhea's been put up as a big badass this whole time and everything like that. So it'd be the one of the few times I think you can make it work. And to me, I see 100% what you're saying, Anthony, with it being one-sided going into this, especially because you've got the sniveling, driveling heels that have to kind of always have that one-uppance. But I want a little more ping pong with this.
I'm more inclined to, I think the heel duo, the scumbag and his girlfriend are going to get whooped hard in Berlin. Like they're going to get their ass kicked. But they are going to win the match.
Oh,
and that's
you got me.
Crowd's going to go wild because the match is going to start off with the heels running around. They don't want to get in the ring.
Right.
And then the baby faces are going to take over. Dom can't get too much offense unless it's that sneaky offense, right? Like they'll distract him, but JD is going to play a factor in this. And what happens for me, where you said, what is Damian's payoff, at least with this particular match, is Rhea goes on to Liv. She's still going to chase her down, still wants her hands around her neck. Dom's going to help her, his baby girl. Damian goes on to Finn. So Finn, to me, will be the deciding factor in this moment. I think Finn will continue to be a thorn in Damian's side, and it's a great mid-card rivalry for Damian and Finn to have it out. No belts involved, and like you said, Nick, this has been the best Damian we've had. He had he lost the belt and found himself. I'll show everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what really would be cool is if we did get Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood for the women's title, and Rhea Ripley did lose. But one thing I've been thinking and pitching is the Terra Twins taking the tag team titles from Finn and JD. And have them have a run with the tag team titles. We're talking about intergender matches. I would love to see that.
I dipped a toe in. This man just said cannonball.
Right? Could they get away with that in 2024? Would they do it? They've always shied away from it.
No.
Like
I respectfully, it only works self-contained into this feud. I think once you open it up to the rest of the tag team division, it gets a little wonky and a little choppy waters there.
Yeah.
I could see it to where, like Anthony said, to where you get Rhea versus Liv at Bad Blood, and that's where Dom costs Rhea again. And to get a shot back at Liv, you got to beat Dom or something like that. That's where you could slide that in.
Dom on a pole match. Let's go. Come on now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I really do think there's a lot of story to play off this, and this has been fun. I know there's a small pocket of haters of this, but the vast majority of people, especially people who have their head into the wrestling game, very much like this has been one of the most entertaining things in wrestling.
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons why Raw's been absolutely cooking. So I think they continue this. There's no reason to slow it down. and I think there is a lot of avenue here, and I do think that Damian and Finn have a lot of potential to burn out for us.
Oh, absolutely. There's no bad outcome in this match, realistically.
Right.
63% are going with Nick.
Oh, wow.
That's
But another tight one.
Well, and it feels like it's getting the same percentage.
Right?
If only I could do that in court, that would really help the fuck out. But
right? Where are you guys when the jury?
Where are you guys when I need you? This don't count. Court counts. Show up on Thursdays when we're doing court.
Right. It should be a fun match either way, guys. I'm really looking forward to this one. Speaking of looking forward, so this is why this card's beautiful. But again, I'll throw it out to either one of you guys for the strap match.
This is going to be your most entertaining match of the night. This will be asses in seats. Tony Schiavone, this will be your Meltzer 5-star ratings. Yes, I had to fit him in just to take a jab, just to see if I could get a home run out of you. But absolutely, this match is going to be insane. I am taking one Drew McIntyre still for this. He's still got to get his lick back. He's still got to get his pound of flesh back. Could it be like if he loses here, how do we get to the match at potential, like the one that we all know we probably are getting at Bad Blood? So I think he wins here, and then we even up the ante a little bit more.
Drew won the first one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Punk's
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I think it's Punk's turn to win, so we can get the third one at Bad Blood with another stipulation. I know CM Punk said he doesn't want to do like a Hell in a Cell match, but yeah, I think CM Punk needs to win.
Can I interrupt that though, Anthony?
Yeah.
Just to clarify, people spun it like that. What he kind of said was, my first match back is not going to be a Hell in a Cell. Get that fantasy booking out.
Okay.
But he never said no to it. So I think it was a nice misdirection on his part. I still think that only makes sense. If you're going to have a match after a strap match, let's throw him in the cage. But sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no. That makes sense. But I'm totally on CM Punk's side. CM Punk needs to win this match after Monday Night Raw and him being under the ring and live streaming on Instagram. All of that was so cool. I think this is CM Punk's moment to win this match at Bash in Berlin.
Can we just stop for a minute and acknowledge the fact that CM Punk has won Anthony over?
Yeah, shit, I just realized that.
He refused to defend him in court. He had no interest in CM Punk. He was you were not, am I correct? You were like not a CM Punk guy. And now to hear you be like, that was so cool. I was sitting here smiling like,
this man live streams under the ring and that won him over. Right.
Yeah, you got to be some of the most stubborn, dug in,
pig-headed,
difficult, pig-headed fan to see that whole sequence play out, that segment play out, and go, oh, he still sucks. Like, it was really fucking good. Like, it was cool, man, especially because you got to see how it kind of plays out in real life live. Like, Nick and I are live watching the show, and one of our friends, basically the chat, chime in and say, holy shit, Punk's on Insta. So we go look at Insta, and sure enough, he's under the ring, and we're like, where is he? And so it was kind of cool for all that. That was outstanding. This match is I'll be shocked if this match does not absolutely cook.
Can I change my prediction real quick?
No.
No,
yeah.
No, I didn't know if it was locked in, once I locked in my buzzer, because I literally forgot he won the first match because it was just the clusterfuck, the special guest referee and everything. That's the one that we've talked about was more an angle to a match to me. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But I'm Punk should win this. If Drew won the last one, you guys are 100% right. Punk wins here, and I think it was someone in the chat said that on one of our streams that Punk's undefeated in like strap and dog collar matches. Yes. Like anything that involves, you two being connected, he's undefeated.
Whatever floats your boat, bro. Right? No, this is the best rivalry of 2024. It's been done to precision. Like, they haven't missed a beat. And even when Punk got hurt, you found a way to keep him interesting and relevant. We've talked about other wrestlers like an Adam Cole. There was probably ways you could have kept us into Adam Cole while he was recovering, especially late in his recovery. They did outstanding with Punk and Drew. That rivalry built up and built up and built up, and the one guy only had one arm. Like, but to see where it's at now, this strap match is going to be unbelievable. My money's on Punk. I mean, I heard you explain yourself, Nick, and I'm like, he knows he lost the first one, right? Like,
no, no. Vitamins made the pages stick together.
Right.
I just went from, they're arguing to strap match.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to go. I think it's Punk's turn. Punk doesn't lose strap matches. This sets up an insane rubber match that could be in a Hell in a Cell, which I think we're all down for. If this goes another couple months of these two trying to kill each other, it's going to be outstanding. We've had some great segments, like the one where Punk was running around the building and Drew went up and then Punk came down. Like, it's all been good shit.
Right. Even when like Drew McIntyre got his lick back at one point and like the garage door opened and CM Punk is just laying down on the ground and he carried him all the way to the ring. Like this feud has been really good. I've been on CM Punk's side, which is rare.
Crazy.
But yeah, this feud has been good.
Right. Nick's got that Scottish blood that won't give up on Drew. Apparently.
I don't know. No, that's totally you. Me and you have somehow like switched bodies with this.
Right.
I've been ride or die with Drew McIntyre. No,
really
I honestly handed Jesus entirely, Stoner Jesus, entirely forgot that Drew technically won the first match.
Not technically, actually.
I know, but still.
Get out of here with your technically bullshit.
100% sets up. You get the back and forth. You get the rubber match. That's going to be the third match versus this is just completely one-sided. If Drew runs away and wins this, then it is a bit one-sided. So I retract my previous statement.
Yeah. Exactly what you said at the end of your point was, how do we get to the next match? And so if Drew wins, Drew as the heel could be like, I'm done with you. I've beat the shit out of you twice now.
Right.
Punk finding a way to win this, and then of course you get an angry Drew McIntyre who the whole world's against him, and it's not his fault, and it plays well. It really does.
Right.
Any other thoughts on this one? Let's go check on the people. 85% Punk. Yeah. Heavy favorite.
Yeah.
I'm the 5th percentile in that 80.
Favorite thing.
I don't think there's any kind of discrepancy there. I think it has to be CM Punk at Bash in Berlin.
Right.
No, I won't be singing praises to NXT anytime soon.
We're
really with Rosemary showing up.
That's TNA's Rosemary. That wasn't NXT.
She showed up on NXT. What if Joe Hendry wins? When we talk about this later, if Joe Hendry wins the NXT title,
he's not, and we'll talk about that later and why.
Spoiler alert, folks. If unhealthy, yes, Saver. Okay, Raquel. Now, a lot of people talking about Raquel. I think that would be amazing. That would help extend the feud if Raquel came out and helped Liv, because they do have a prior relationship. Rhea and Raquel have a prior hatred. I think that is perfect.
Do you need to add another player?
Yes,
on the chessboard?
Because Dom can't beat up Rhea. We know that. So
That's
we got to.
True.
Yeah, but Liv can run, bitch.
They haven't done that well either. She runs
cardio.
Oh.
You saw that? I saw the videos of her running backstage and them 16-foot heels and everything.
Right. Why are you running upstairs when the front door is right there, lady?
Because she's like a white chick in a horror movie. Run, bitch. Run.
If she's gonna run, stop wearing heels to the ring because you get caught every time. I don't.
But that's how she looks slightly taller.
If you had that much, right? If you had that much heat, would you not leave the house with your sneakers on every time just in case?
No, you got your runners, your CrossFit, your trainers, you got a water bottle. You're set to just go jogging. All of a sudden, just break out into a jog.
Heel Raquel is better than face. Yeah, if anybody remembers Raquel with Dakota Kai, it was really good. If they repeat that and it's Liv instead of Dakota, it will work extremely well. And we all agreed, babyface Raquel, the back attack Jack was not working.
Worst Latina babyface, Lola Vice or Raquel Rodriguez?
You leave Lola alone.
They're both, Lola couldn't squeeze out a fucking tear if you chopped an onion in front of her.
It was one segment. One time.
People don't forget.
All right. Any final thoughts on Punk and Drew?
No, I think we can strap on and strap on.
Okay, another banger. The rematch. They run it back from King of the Ring, and yeah, this should be excellent. But who's got this one?
Dun 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 dun. This has to be Gunther. Has to be Gunther. I know we all want Randy Orton for 15, and so we can get close to 16, but this man is going to get a hero's welcome, and it's going to be insane to see.
Right.
And I hope they, at least for the one night, have him come out to that. You didn't do Drew with Broken Dreams and everything. So you got to give me Gunther with the old Walter dun, 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 coming out. And you get Ludwig introducing Gunther in Berlin is going to be insane.
Yes.
I need Triple H to do the right thing here and bump Cody from the main event. This needs to be the main event.
Oh,
this has to be the main event tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but Saturday. This is all Gunther. I think this is the match. Like, Gunther has already proved himself time and time again, but beating Randy Orton clean, because he didn't do that in the tournament, this will be like his proving ground to be the world heavyweight champion until God knows when he drops it, because he held that other title for what, 666 days. So yeah, this is gonna be the match of the night, I feel like, for me.
Yeah, I think it will be the main event. The only way I think Cody ends up being the main event is the fact, like, if somehow Roman did make the trip to Berlin, which none of us expect, so it would be like, holy shit. That is the only way, is if there's some bloodline angle that's going to be huge to end the show. Paul Heyman brings back Brock Lesnar. It's not happening, so we're good. Gunther, Randy, I think is going to be outstanding. As much as I want to see Randy get to 15, 16, 17 title reigns, Gunther's the man right now. And this is going to be epic. The Ludwig intro, like you said, Nick, is going to cook. I'm so looking forward to this. And it's just a huge name. It's an attempt. What Vince didn't do very well was pass the torch. Gunther beating Randy, it's another feather in the cap of Gunther, who will be carrying this company when Randy's on, no more.
And I do, absolutely. And there's almost similarities between Randy and Gunther. Gunther's a fantastic heel, but like can do babyface things or what have you, can like be that gray floater that Randy kind of has, especially has found on the back nine of his career.
Right.
Really well here. I like this. If Gunther is the devil, Anthony, yes, he's a devil. And to point out, like you were talking about with his historic reign as IC champion, beat fucking Honky Tonk and everything.
Right.
They sat there and put out a commemorative title for his intercontinental reign. So that coming out, it's going to be in Berlin. There's no respectful way that Randy Orton wins this, honestly. He's going to get a hero's welcome. Randy's going to probably get booed. Like, does Randy get booed, or do they still sing voices and then boo him? Like, does he get the Jericho treatment? And I know I said Jericho, so I triggered you, KJ, but
I feel like Randy is going to get a mixed reaction because he's so iconic. Like, I don't think people can just boo him straight out. So I think he'll get some type of mixed reaction in Berlin, but for Gunther, it's gonna be straight loud. I can't wait to hear if they got some type of chant or a song for him in their native language. This is going to be good.
I hear voices in my head.
Oh, that's stupid but funny. On point. Code Hater. We might rapid fire through Capital Collision at the very, very end. We'll see how long we ramble about the first three shows, and then maybe we'll do a quick one at the end. So stay to the very end, and we might, why not tack on a fourth? That's
called a teaser, folks.
Speaking of Capital Collision, I thought that was just a special episode of Collision until I Googled it yesterday.
All right.
You're not wrong. Well, we're getting a 3-hour block of Rampage paired with everything randomly in September. I know that, but goddamn, that got me.
The mega stream, folks. We will be here for 4 shows tomorrow. 4. Find another channel that does that.
1, 2.
Some of them can't make it through one show. They quit an hour.
That's literally
Right.
we've seen it. We've seen it.
Or they need to show the screen to stream, their reactions,
Right.
All around, boys. All right. I don't even think I put a poll up for this one. It looks like the majority is going for Gunther, so I think it goes without saying. Any final thoughts on what should be a really good match?
No, honestly, I just can't wait to see the German crowd, the Berlin crowd react to Gunther coming out there. I know he's an Austrian, he's not German, but even having, like we've talked about, the Ludwig entrance for Gunther already hits when it's in the US and everything. It'd be in, Salt Lake City, Utah, and everybody's losing their mind for this giant Austrian coming out as world champion. You do this in Germany, you do this in Berlin with Ludwig coming out there. You're going to get the shaky hard cam like you got with AJ Styles in France and everything.
Well, crowds now know they have the decibel meter. Like they know they're
we got to bring that back. Yeah.
Right. So if they bring that to every pay-per-view, you're challenging that crowd to do better at some point. I don't know what the max level is, but yeah, I like that. I like the competitive nature of it. Can you beat Scotland? Can you beat Toronto? Should be insane.
Right.
And I was watching old Gunther clips, like the best of Gunther. That old entrance, Nick, you're bang on. It hits so hard, and it's so good with the spotlight. Go back.
Dun, 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 dun. It's ingrained in you because we've all heard that music in one form or fashion in something. Yeah. But that's when the big bad motherfucker shows up, and it's about to get real. When that shows up, when that starts playing, and it just fit him perfectly as the ring general, and he's so serious, and the mat is sacred and everything. The ring is sacred ground, everything.
Doesn't Mercedes have like the beginning of that theme?
We don't talk about her.
Kinda, yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the theme, but I think
people mentioned that it sounds like Gunther's new song.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I believe.
All right, gentlemen, what could be the main event, but we think it could actually open the show too. But KO Cody Rhodes, a bit of a surprise matchup. Cody doing this out of the kindness of his heart. KO's reluctant. How's this going to play out?
I'm asking you, as the KO representative, does he heel turn?
I'm waiting for it. I thought maybe Friday. It kind of felt like maybe. Maybe tomorrow.
I think they keep wanting people to, people expect it. I don't see why he would do it. I think people just expect it, so they keep teasing it because it gets the people, is he going to do it? To me, doesn't make sense for him to turn heel here. What's he side with? The fucking bloodline?
I was just about to say that.
I think he's better off suited being a friend of Cody's, and it's still, you always anticipate he's going to prove what he said right. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not going to be that guy with you, all of that. Everything that he said, he's been that whole untrustworthy guy. Waller laid out that whole video of always, he turns on all his friends and everything. We got the little tease to where he's going to sit there and hit him with the belt and everything, but he just hands it to him. I don't think we get a KO heel turn or whatever. I think we can just get a good, solid match and Cody wins. I agree. This probably opens the show because I don't need Americana to end my Berlin show.
I think this will be a great match. I think it's better suited to open the show to get the crowds pumped, the crowd pumped and ready. They're probably already going to be pumped and ready regardless. But I think this should open the show. Kevin Owens, great wrestler. Not CM Punk, but Cody Rhodes, great wrestler as well. They're going to tear the house down, both of these guys. So I'm excited for the match. I don't like how we got there. Like, he's his friend. Let me just give you the match. But other than that, I think this is going to be a great match.
Yeah, I had a bit of an issue with all this kind of playing the if you don't take it, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm like, this is not a piece of gum, guys. Who wants the last candy? Relax. But I'm looking forward to this. This is kind of has that Ring of Honor vibe to it. It feels like the matches Cody wants to have in his career. Kind of feels the same idea of the AJ Styles match of nobody really had a whole lot of faith in AJ. There wasn't the deepest of story going into it, but they just wanted to kind of get to have that match. Like AJ and Cody, I think KO and Cody are going to tear it down. You kind of got me convinced that KO really doesn't need, like, where does he go as a heel then? Like,
Right.
you know, what does he, maybe does he go after LA Knight if he's on a heel run, but he lost to the champion? Maybe.
It's the same thing a bit, I think, why we've delayed Randy's heel turn, because Randy, it makes sense with him going after Gunther because of the whole King of the Ring situation, the fiasco with the shoulders up, the shoulders down, all of that. And I think we could still get that later heel turn because Randy can always flip-flop between heel or face, much like Kevin. But I think come WrestleMania 40 time or Royal Rumble time, down that back end of, you know, here, we're going to get more Randy versus Cody now. Right now, if Kevin's having to be forced to take the match and everything, like you said, of all this is like, well, if you don't, then I guess, you know, I'll have to just leave this pie cooling on the windowsill and see if someone takes it. Right. So I think it's setting up all the red flags, the alarms are all buzzing for him to turn heel, and he's not going to do it because it doesn't make sense right now.
95% of the chat is taking Cody Rhodes, so that's no surprise.
Yeah.
So
when you said that is interesting, I was like, they're all taking Kevin Owens.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, now there is a potential for like kind of a mid-match kind of snap moment for KO. Will that mean a full heel turn? No, but listen, me personally, and like it said here on the screen by Gilly, I do like heel Kevin Owens a lot.
But he works this really well of like a tweener of he's got that Austin-ish to him of that he's never, I think at this point, going to be full heel unless he's really got his teeth sunk into something. But he's also going to have that feel to where he's never a true baby face on anything.
Fair enough.
I mean, the man's got the goddamn stunner and everything. If he can't be more, he's got stunners and knee braces. If he can't be more Austin, I don't know.
Is there any way that this match gets like mashed up by a bloodline attack? Like, is there any way something like that is the finish?
Waller, Theory.
That would suck. That would suck. Yeah. I don't need the douche canoes fucking up one of the main events.
I don't think this would be a main event. I think this opens the show because, like, I think this is such a foregone conclusion. And you start your pay-per-view with a world title, you end it with a world title. Bookend it.
Right.
I guess my question is, could this be where if the bloodline does get involved, you know, somewhere in the middle of this match, is this the part where Sami Zayn comes out to kind of help, and then this is eventually maybe his way back into the original bloodline?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Again, there's a lot to this. Almost feels like you said, like an opening match, kind of like they did with AJ, and get through it and just move on. Like there's nothing more. But it also feels like there's a lot on the table as potential that could happen and tie into where they go with it.
Is it because it's Cody and because it's the world title? Because I'm even Trey's making me think about Shaky Nakamura out here.
Yes.
You know, where's he been hiding? Do we get a Giovanni Vinci sighting or anything, especially around Gunther, Randy Orton, what have you? Then again, he seems more just destined for Milan, bringing a pay-per-view, a premium live event over to Italy. But
but that's so far away. I do agree that open challenge, the show will be in Germany, close. So Vinci, they've been teasing his return. Yeah, Vinci might. I don't know if it's good for Vinci to accept the challenge and then lose to LA Knight. So that's
because that's the thing is whoever takes that open challenge, you ain't winning. So
I don't think
so. Right.
Well, all right. Any final thoughts on Cody and KO?
No, sir.
No, I'm good.
Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our breakdown of Bash in Berlin. A handful of matches, all with a lot of intrigue, as you can tell. And we got lots more coming your way. I will remind everyone we are back tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. for the mega stream as we cover 4 shows in one night. It's going to be a fun one. The SmackDown before Bash, And then, of course, Bash in Berlin, Saturday morning. We go live at 11 a.m.
Yes, sir.
So. And we will be live all day long, giving you all the coverage for that. It's going to be a fun one. It should be a packed night or a packed day. Brunch with the Boys 13. And yeah, make sure you go check out our merch store. Remember, we are raising money for literacy. So get out there and get your F. Meltzer shirts today. Woo!
That's a lot.
That's way too much.
And that's the thing is we just keep making it longer. We don't take anything off. We've just kept adding more.
Shit on. All right, gentlemen. No Mercy, Denver. Interesting pay-per-view. Again, not a lot of matches, but I'm looking forward to No Mercy on Sunday evening.
NXT pay-per-views. Sorry, Anthony, but NXT
no, you go first.
Already always seem to really kind of, especially deliver. Like they already do well when they do like a special edition of an NXT, but when they actually make it a pay-per-view and they put a focus on it, they really deliver.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen the last couple of NXT pay-per-views. They deliver. They give me the old black and gold vibe. The takeovers, like they always deliver. So I am a little bit excited for No Mercy and some of the matches going down.
Yeah, I'm happy to see them kind of get back to that black and gold vibe. Their pay-per-views. I know I bellyache about some of the stuff we get on the weekly shows, but it seems like the matches they pluck out of the group for the pay-per-views delivered, and they've done really well. Even a couple, like we said last pay-per-view, we didn't expect the tag match to burn, and it might have been the match of the night. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
All right, first on the docket, Anthony, we might let you have this one first, but Wesley, Zachary Wentz, the Rascals No More. The
disrespect from Wesley this past Tuesday on NXT, like I just wanted to go through the TV and slap him myself. I want obviously Wentz to win here, but I don't know if they'll do that because I know they're trying to repackage Wes as a heel, so he probably really needs this victory to kind of solidify his heel run in NXT as this continues on. But I'm still going to go Zachary Wentz because I'm not going to go against TNA, even though I am going to go against TNA later on, and we'll get to that match. But yeah, I want Wentz to win here.
Do any other members of the Rascals show up? Trey Miguel, Myron Reed, anything?
Myron Reed was shouting them out on social. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I feel like that could happen. I feel like you could have Trey Miguel come out to potentially be on Wentz's side, and you have Myron Reed come out to be on Wesley's side, and this is Myron Reed's type of heel turn.
That'd be good because Myron Reed's done a lot of good work. If that was somebody that they scooped up, like off, kind of off that indie circuit, I don't know if is he still tied into MLW at all? Or NW?
Myron?
Yeah.
Don't believe so. I know he's shown up for Wrestling Revolver, and I believe he's shown up for TNA. I could be wrong, Anthony, but I know last I saw him was Wrestling Revolver.
Yeah. I'm going Wesley on this one. The kid has been on a losing streak. He's been taking L's left, right, and center. He needs a win. I think he cheats to win. I think someone else just said that in the chat. Steve Chambers. He cheats to win. I think him cheating to win solidifies him. Maybe Trey Miguel joins him. Like that's the ultimate. Oh shit! And Zachary's the guy out. I love it because again, all of it could happen or none of it, but it's going to be a hell of a match.
Does Gigi get involved because Wentz out here and everything?
Right. That'd be interesting. Wentz and Gigi.
Well, it depends on it. The biggest thing with all of this is how much do they want this to continue on with the NXT TNA partnership, what have you. This whole feud was already interesting. We've talked about this because all the kind of breakups outside of what they showed, I think, a bit of last week or this week, actually, of every argument, every issue that Wesley's talked about hasn't been on screen at all. So you kind of don't fully feel of why you're mad. I get you're mad. I don't know exactly why you're mad. But I still think Wesley wins this. They keep it more, and some of this is going to stay in house. And you've got the NXT guy going over the TNA guy, and like Anthony said, even to start all of this off of, they're going with a Wesley heel turn with this. They focused that whole video package of showing from when he started with MSK and showed up and did all of that to all the way he's, the North American champion's got to vacate it because he's injured and everything. So Wesley's developing more as a character here. I think he gets the win.
Yeah, 100% on the development side of things. I think this match, these guys know each other so well. I have no worry that this match is going to be a really good match. Maybe the type of match you open the show with just because it's going to be so entertaining.
Right.
But yeah, Wesley needs this, man.
Yeah, the only way I see this going any further is if they take this to Victory Road, TNA's Victory Road, in like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it could be like Trey Miguel versus Wesley. But I honestly feel like Wesley is winning this match, but I'm just not voting. Now, I'm not.
Yeah.
I gotta take TNA. Gotta take TNA.
Right.
Do we see anything? And I know this isn't the only match on here for No Mercy. That's NXT versus TNA. Do we see anything leaning towards? I know I've talked about it and pitched it of a giant crossover pay-per-view between NXT and TNA, and this was where some of this stuff builds towards.
I think there's an Anthony. What does TNA have going on in December?
Final Resolution, which would be here in Atlanta.
That's right. Yeah. See that? I think there's a spot that you could do something late, like December, like right before Christmas, like that second week of December. World's Ends on the 28th, which is AEW.
We had the trademark for Super Bowl, and I still think that could be a thing.
Yeah, I think there's a window late in the year that they could pull it off. If you get into into Rumble season, maybe tricky unless it is like a Saturday, Sunday, like this weekend, where the Sunday night is. Imagine you get a Sunday night pay-per-view with like the TNA talent. I mean,
would you almost want this if you're going to do a cross promotion thing and it's going to be literally like this side versus that side, WCW versus WWE, like an invasion almost type pay-per-view, a little bit. I would almost want that to stand alone. I know I could see it where they'd pair it and everything. But if you find a Saturday or something like that, no, I'm saying a Saturday to where like WWE isn't doing a pay-per-view or anything like that, and you throw it into there, like you said, around like December or whatever, because we know that there's that back stretch there that there's nothing going on really. You throw it into there, and everybody's gonna be home, holidays, everything like that. And you got TNA versus NXT, bunch of stars. Some people ain't watching, you ain't got time, you got the family around. Slap that on, there you go.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I think it'd be great. I think that I think everybody's kind of chomping at the bit to see how much, like how this continues, this relationship. It's been really good. It's offered a lot of surprises. Nobody thought Rosemary was going to help Wendy Chu of all people.
Right.
Like, it's been insane. Joe Hendry is billed like the biggest wrestler on NXT, and he's not on NXT. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's starting to look like pushes in WWE go Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Joe Hendry.
True.
I think it was 69% are going Wesley on this one. So there you go, Wes. You're
gonna go fast about this match. I'm gonna flush this down. Kalani's taking this.
Kalani for the dub, eh? I'll go Wendy Chu.
You're gonna take Dookie?
I'm gonna take Choo Choo.
You choo, sir?
I was going to take Wendy Chu too. I was. Only because maybe it wasn't a one-off with Rosemary, and Rosemary comes back to help Wendy Chu win.
We're going to get the trio of Rosemary, Jessica Havoc, and Wendy Chu.
And Tatum Paxton.
One of these things doesn't belong here.
Well, one wouldn't belong.
We just got to get
Spooky Dookie Chu. Are you kidding me?
Why? She's Spooky Dookie just like the other two.
She's Dookie. She's not even spooky anymore. She's just Dookie.
Why is she Dookie? At least she's not taking naps during wrestling matches. She's gonna beat Kalani. Kalani's boring.
No, she's not. No.
Kalani's boring.
This is gonna be the one match that I'm so steadfast on, and it's somehow fucking wrong about, and just lose my goddamn mind.
I like the idea that there might be a spooky little faction coming together here.
Right. We just got to find
You
out.
could have had that with Tatum, and you hot tweet over that. So no. You don't get spooky. You're not doing spooky just because it's getting close to fall and it's getting close to October. You had that with Tatum. You threw that away. You had to change. Move along.
They're doing a Halloween Havoc pay-per-view this year. Wendy Chu going in, being a champ, might be a good way to go.
No.
Chu's been good.
She's a good wrestler, by the way. She is a good wrestler. The gimmick is just trash.
It hasn't been bad. It's just been kind of creepy. Like she's not sleeping anymore.
Notice how you never said it's been good. You just said it hasn't been bad. It's been kind of creepy. You never once said the word good.
I mean, the last little bit here, the last.
Shotzi should be the one that hosts Halloween Havoc. Where the hell has she been?
Well, I mean, Wendy Chu's spookier than Shotzi.
Shotzi's way better than Wendy Chu. Don't you dare
I said spooky.
Hot tui.
I said spooky, not better. And Shotzi's not that good. Go Spooky Chu. I love it.
Yeah. I kind of want Spooky Chu to win this. And if it is some type of, partnership, trios with Havoc, we got to get Havoc back because she was taken out by Ash. But we got to get Havoc back and Rosemary. I would like to see it. I'm not gonna...
And we may get Paxley somewhere. I mean, Paxley's still having her struggles, so we'll see what happens with Paxley. Paxley and Kalani have been weird. Yeah. Kalani,
you're gonna have Kalani and Tatum pair up together. Of I know how to take her down. Of I've been on the dark side. I know how to. You got to stab the fucking stuffy that she sleeps with, and then all of her spooky leaves her or something. Like, is that where we're going with this bullshit?
No, not at all. But that was a great way to. That's exactly how you would have answered it if we did. No, not at all. I don't think Paxley and Kalani would be a thing. But I don't know. Kalani doesn't do much for me. She's a great squeaky baby face, young and up and comer. I like the fact that they gave her the belt, but it's not the most entertaining. At least Chu's entertaining. And she does the $1 Million Dream. That she gets points for me for that.
Because you put some motherfucker to sleep. Yeah, I know. You made me gag a little bit in my mouth. Pause.
It's
don't click that.
When
you saying that Kalani or that Spooky Chu is better than Kalani. Like, I know Kalani ain't that great, and we've talked about it. And
well, what is Kalani better at than Chu?
Wrestling.
Oh, no, she's not. That's not accurate.
At least having a character.
No, what character does Kalani have?
Okay, an entertaining character.
The wallpaper, the wallflower that is Kalani Jordan. The hi guys. That's the better personality than the spooky girl that chokes people out.
That just does. So
I'd rather have
the one who just sleeps and everything like that.
She doesn't sleep anymore, though. She hasn't been sleeping.
I'm taking Kalani Jordan for this match. That is the last thing I'm saying about this match.
Well, you'll be happy to know that 57% of the chat agree with you. I'm gonna go Wendy Chu for shits and giggles because now this is fun. You sticking with Chu as well, Anthony?
Mm-hmm. Wendy Chu all the way.
You both.
I like the spooky character, so I mean it's not the greatest, but it is entertaining.
It's Halloween at Bed Bath and Beyond or Bath and Body Works with this shit. This isn't fucking spooky. This is a sorority chick that painted herself up for a fucking Halloween party. Well, what is spooky about this?
Well, what about Rosemary? I mean, she just a lady that.
Oh no! You're stretching so hard, my guy. Call you Stretch Armstrong with that shit.
What's the difference? I don't understand why Wendy.
No, you're gonna sit there and say Rosemary is just as spooky as Wendy Chu. No.
I mean, she's been good. The lights go out. She pops up. She chokes people. It's been all right.
It's been decent.
It's a local YMCA fucking haunted house, and y'all acting like it's Halloween Horror Nights or something out here.
Right? It's like if Danhausen was a female.
I would take Danhausen over Wendy Dicky Chu.
Now, there you go.
Very evil, very cursed.
Halloween at Bed Bath & Beyond is spooky. That's hilarious. All right. Never thought that the Kalani Jordan Wendy Chu would be the heated argument of the night.
Right.
But moving on to Chase Ewan.
It's the contested one, yes.
Nick's not feeling the chew.
I don't choose you.
Nathan Frazier, Not Man and Robin, going to take on Chase U in an interesting matchup. Sorry, fucking Wendy Chu.
No, you're fine. I'm halfway out here looking what they get at this picture of Andre Chase. He looks like he's gonna have a telepathic warfare, like
That's him trying to get everyone to chant Chase U when he gets into the ring.
Right. But who you got?
Yeah, who's got what?
I feel like Chase U has to retain, right? Didn't they? They just won a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
To me, it wouldn't make sense for them to drop the titles, a couple of weeks later. I feel like Chase U kind of has to win this one.
This one's hard to call because you're right. They just got the belts. I don't know if they would give them right back. Is this the end? Like, does Duke show up and cost them the belts? Is this the demise? Finally, the demise of Chase U? Is it a case that they retain and then get beat up by Chase U? Oh God, I don't know. This is gonna be a good match. I'm gonna go Not Man and Robin because I don't like Chase U.
You're switching in the last second there.
Audible.
I'm going literally off of a theory that I even saw some people mention in the chat and everything a little bit of, to where Axiom and Fraxium win. Chase U's been a bit of a transitional champion at times. It's Andre and Ridge. If this was Ridge and Duke, I think it'd be more believable if they retained a little bit. But also, what if we instead get Motor City shows up or anything like that? Because again, they were supposed to be all signed, sealed, delivered allegedly to AEW, and that was going on like 4 or 5 months now. So we're in Denver. Detroit starts with a D too, so you never know.
If you want to be a wrestling a conspiracy theorist, which ties in nicely to your D theory, pause.
I'll give you the D. What?
Pause again. But I think that because we just saw the grizzled young vets show up in AEW, that might be the moment. And
anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot between the two companies. It's adorable. So, Not Man and Robin win, and then maybe they're confronted after the match. I don't think MCMG is going to get involved.
Yeah, no, that's what I would assume. And I more would take Axiom and Frazier because that stylistically, that's a match I'd rather see versus Motor City than Ridge and fucking Chase U.
Agreed. MCMG, please show up. There you go. There you go.
Please. Help me, Alex Shelley. You're my only hope.
Right. Oh, and you also have the Lucha Bros. We don't know what's up with the Lucha Bros, but we'll talk about that at another time.
Well, I think they were supposed to win a trios belt at All In, and unfortunately, one of the Death Triangle showed up.
Right. The Bastard Combat Club, as coined by Nick.
I don't even know if I did that, but sure. I'll take
one of us did.
Somebody did it.
All right. Nick, this one's for you first because you're Paisan in the match.
The Paisan versus reality here. I have to bend the knee and admit Oba Femi is the dawn of the family here with this because I've said this there. Yeah, it sounds like his entrance song. There ain't nobody out here taking this belt off of Oba. Again, I've said this and I will stand by this statement of they are going to have to politely, and I do emphasize politely, ask this man back for that belt when he moves up from NXT to the main roster, because not no way, not no how, I don't see anybody taking this belt off him. All due respect, Tony, I pay respects to the Don. You're losing You're losing, my guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Oba is not winning. And I've said it a couple of times too that he takes the Oscar route. Like the general manager of SmackDown called me, so I'm just gonna have to relinquish the title and go up there.
I beat everyone you have.
Right. So I don't think anybody really could stop Oba, right? There is a match that I would like to see Moose and Oba, but nobody could really stop Oba in NXT right now. This man is really on a roll.
No, he's on another level. He's not just the fact that he's big and imposing and he has this presence about him, but it's in ring. He is solid and he's getting better each time we see him. But his charisma, his attitude, he's getting the crowd behind him. So, yeah, Oba to me feels like the slam dunk of the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, and he even has that whole promo in. They actually expanded the Olive Garden set that they use.
Yeah, they did.
To where he has the whole back and forth with Tony and holds his own. Like, he's good on the mic, even though he looks like a guy you wouldn't expect to be good on the mic.
Right.
My biggest question coming out of this is what's next for Tony? Because at this point, you lost the NXT title, you lost the Heritage, the Italian American Heritage Cup. You've kind of been floating in the abyss here of where do you go?
Yeah, it's a hard question for Tony D because he's coming a bit of a gatekeeper-ish in I mean, I know he had the Heritage Cup for a little bit, but I mean he's a good wrestler. He's done well. I think he can continue to work with guys that are coming in as a good transitional kind of feud. But if he has any more validity, I don't know where he goes after this.
Is he a better character than wrestler? And that might be kind of the issue a bit of he might be an NXT lifer.
Maybe. Can anyone think of like a really like, oh fuck, we got to go back and watch that Tony D match? Like Tony, Java, maybe.
Their in-ring isn't super compelling or anything. It's more of the character, the personality that you pay attention for.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing because there's plenty of guys, Christ, on the main roster that have that. But if like you can't click that well in NXT, you're going to get eaten alive on a Raw or SmackDown, I feel. Yeah. Then again, could work out the complete opposite way and could be one of those of once you get out of NXT, fucking skyrocket. But who am I to say?
Right. This should be interesting. But yeah, I don't think there's much more. Just so you guys know, 62% took Chase U and 86% are taking Oba.
Wow. I thought it would be a lot more for Oba. I thought it would be 100% for Oba.
Yeah.
We got some Tony D fans out there.
The Paisans represent, my guy.
Right. Some of those Italians in the chat.
Yeah, like how you said, Italians. Yeah,
right.
Not Italians, Italians.
I can't wait for this match. The women's title on the line. Jada Parker smacked the taste out of Roxy's mouth the other day.
5 feet of sand in the face. Slap.
Didn't even let her finish her sentence. That's what I'm talking about. Just smacked her.
Right. Anyway, Roxanne loses this. I feel like there's a potential of Stephanie being showing up after this or being around this situation. So I do not see Jada winning, but I really like Jada Parker.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, my heart wants to take Miss Parker. How you doing, Miss Parker? Everything. And I think that this is a great thing to see that she's 100%. We've talked about it. She's got a fucking jetpack strapped to her. Like you even mentioned of the promo from NXT this past week or this current week, to where she's literally, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Oh, really? I told you I'm gonna slap the shit out of you and everything. I think it's fantastic. Roxanne's winning this though because you're setting up your Stephanie McCoys, you're setting up your Julias, you're setting up all of your international female signees that they've got coming in. Like Trey's mentioning Delta. I thought we met when we watched Progress, or actually when we watched the pre-show for All In, they had Riho, who was out there from Progress, who WWE was trying to get. And I saw a woman today floating around on Twitter from Germany that WWE is trying to get that just holy shit, they make you that big? I didn't know they made you that big. But Roxanne's holding this title until somebody like that shows up, like a Julia Stephanie Becker shows up and takes the belt off her. All due respect to Miss Parker, you're super talented. You got miles ahead of you. You're not winning the title tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is all Roxanne. I like Jada after what I saw last week with her slapping the taste out of her mouth. I thought that was phenomenal. The last match I saw with Jada Parker that was really good was with Mia Yim. I think I was actually on stream for that match. But yeah, I think this is all Roxanne. I'm more interested of the Jada Parker tease after the slap when she was like, "I've heard of you. You can come get some too." I don't know if it's any of the names that was like Stephanie Barker, Delta, Julia. I saw one name floating around on Twitter on Tuesday was Tasha Steelz being that person that she teased at that moment. Jada and Tasha both have similar characters, similar attitudes. I think that would be perfect. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. And the other name on the list, a lot of people have been bringing up is Cora. Cora, where is she at with the recovery? I don't think she's ready yet. You may want to put her at the end of the murderous row, but they are lining up, like we just said. We list off 5-6 names, not even counting like a Fallon or a JC or some of the other names that are currently kind of chomping at her heels that are active. NXT's women's division is stacked and lining up nicely.
We still haven't even talked about it, Nikita Lyons or anything like that.
Does she still wrestle?
Did she ever?
Like I said in the chat a couple of weeks ago, people only like her because of what's behind her. That's
posterior power. Instead of people power, posterior power.
Are you accusing? No, I'm just kidding.
You goddamn right. I don't even know what you were about to say, but you goddamn right.
Accusation. So 81% taking Roxy. I don't think anyone's going to really argue with that too hard.
Roxanne. Yeah, I had to do that for Stone of Jesus. You ain't
all right.
The red light.
Back to karaoke. We have Joe Hendry from TNA taking on Ethan Page from AEW for the NXT title.
With Trick Williams as a special guest referee there. It's Tricky to Rocco Ram to Rocco Ram.
Trick turn.
I guess for me, it's easily Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander is going to ruin this moment for Joe Hendry. It's either Josh Alexander or the only person that has pinned Moose in the past 2 years. Only person that has pinned Moose. It would be Moose. So Moose would interfere here. Those are the Joe Hendry is not walking out as NXT champion. He's not. This is all Ethan Page. But I think we get a Josh Alexander or Moose, and I'm betting more on Josh Alexander than Moose.
I was right with you with the Moose idea, with the Josh Alexander idea, until Trick became the special guest referee, and I think Trick Williams is going to take out Joe Hendry.
Oh, so you still think that? Whoa. So you think Trick turns?
Yeah, I think because they've had a bit of a stutter with Trick, that I think they might consider surprising us. Yeah, I'm going Trick Williams cost Joe Hendry the title. Sets up a Joe Trick feud, which is great, and Ethan can move on.
So no Josh Alexander.
I don't think so.
I didn't even think about Trick turning. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of like both your feud, like both your ideas and everything like that. I like Anthony's more because I know we've talked about it. If Josh Alexander shows up, if even before Trick was a special guest referee, what have you, Josh Alexander shows up, takes out Joe Hendry, that continues their feud in NXT or TNA. Still has Ethan free and clear at NXT. Trick being involved in here, interesting. Could we get potentially a tag match of Trick and Joe versus Ethan and Josh?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I just, for the sake of being difficult and for the sake of hoping against hope, and because I feel if I say his name, he might appear, and just to see what the fucking Twitterverse and everything would happen. Say his Joe Hendry wins your NXT championship, and just I like I said, I agree with both of you. I think you guys are way more likely. I'm more now. Fuck it, go in my heart. Just send it. Of if Joe Hendry, if a TNA talent wins a WWE title, granted, I know it's an NXT title and everything like that, but the man's over like fucking Rover.
Yeah.
And if you could, and if you're gonna set up to a giant cross company pay per view, what have you, and everything, you start now, and there's so many positives that could come out of this, and I understand why they wouldn't do it because it's WWE, because still keep it on to WWE, NXT, what have you. Hoping against hope at this point of just it'd be fun to see it.
So theoretically, if we say Joe Hendry wins clean at No Mercy, wins the title, they run the rematch back. They run the rematch back at Victory Road 3 weeks from now. And that's when Josh cost him the title.
Could be.
That works. That those puzzle pieces fit together pretty nice. And
there we go.
But and again, now kind of going back to my theory, because why would you make Trick the ref if he doesn't have an impact on the situation? Maybe it is Trick takes out Ethan. Like, even if he is potentially trying to take out Joe, maybe it's Trick's fault that
he takes out Josh. He equals Josh. Yeah.
Maybe. But it does set up the possibility of a Joe winning. I say do it. Like, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, like you said, Nick, but I'd do it. If you want to be bold and you really want to, like, make this NXT thing like, oh, fuck, do it. Do it.
It is the biggest headline move you can do on the chessboard.
Yeah.
That is the boldest move you can do.
Yeah. Ethan wins it back at Victory Road, like Anthony says. So he just holds it for a week. That. Harmless. It's, right again, a few weeks from now. That's beautiful.
And if you have an NXT title change hands on a TNA show, I think that shuts up a lot of people. And I've even seen it even on our Discord of people going on the entity of like, do you think that the WWE TNA or like the NXT TNA deal has been, 50-50 split or being, fair about it and everything, or think that it's more just NXT just gobbling up everything from TNA? If you pay it forward to that point of we'll get the huge moment of Joe Hendry wins an NXT title. We'll get all the fucking titles, but guess what? He's going to defend it on your pay-per-view. That's a nice little curveball and a caveat that you can add to all the momentum you would gain from Joe Hendry winning it to where we're going to funnel it to you.
And we have to remember, Shawn Michaels and Triple H both have said they're in the beginning stages of this whole thing with TNA. We can't go full force in and expect everything to be peachy keen. It's a filler moment. We gotta fill this out, how this is going to work for both sides and how this is going to benefit both sides. And right now, the focus right now is to get more eyes on TNA. I've said that, and not under Siege, but I think it was the one after that. I can't remember the name of the pay-per-view. They had the biggest signups to TNA Plus, in that moment for that pay-per-view. I think it was Against All Odds. Slammiversary sold out with 4,000 people, and it had more signups. And same with being sold out tomorrow for Emergence. Like, people are watching TNA because of what's going on with WWE. And I know we'll get to TNA, but you still got Riley Osborne, the first WWE superstar to ever compete in X Division, in the Ultimate X match tomorrow. Like this is just the beginning stages. And as fans, literally, we say it all the time, but we got to be patient. We really got to be patient.
Patience is key with all of this, but two things that came up in the chat. One, Pete Dunne was the last thing we saw at the end of NXT, kind of hinting at he's got issues with Trick. It's been made official that Pete Dunne will fight Trick. So he's in the mix. So maybe Pete Dunne hits Trick. Trick is out cold. Josh Alexander shows up. Everybody gets what they want.
Bob's your uncle, yeah,
Right.
it could go that way a bit. Yeah, that's a very valid point. Like I said,
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. What about the potential of a Ricky Starks? Is he available now? Because that would make that I don't care. That would make my night.
that just trumps everything. But yeah, I
Right.
don't know, and I'm not going to pretend to be an insider like half the people on Twitter that I'm going to know what's going on.
Yeah. Right. And Anthony, your comment about like selling out Emergence and that for TNA. I know we're going to get to TNA, but again, I find it really funny that there's this bias lean against TNA. Of like last night, there was I think 1,900 people at an AEW Dynamite, like their main show that's televised nationally. 1,900 people. Like we know TNA is doing venues bigger than that. Some are smaller, but they're pulling in that kind of number. They're not exactly getting dominated by AEW, but they get looked at like they are.
Right. No, absolutely. I feel like it's just a heavy negative towards TNA. And I think the problem is a little bit too, people are not watching what is going on as well in TNA. Because if you look at it last week, Jonathan Gresham had a banger match with I can't think of his name. I
Dempsey.
lost his name. Yes, Dempsey, Charlie Dempsey literally tore the house down, was the best match of the night, and people are calling for Dempsey and Jonathan Gresham too. I didn't get to talk about it in the TNA review because I didn't do one this week, but that match was excellent. And there's people telling, there's the TNA fans telling people, go watch this match. They literally tore the house down last week. So it's benefiting in a way, but I think the problem is you can't get some of the WWE fans out of their head saying that TNA is dead, because it's not. A sold out show, Slammiversary being sold out, Emergence being sold out does not show a dead brand or a dead company. They're thriving, literally.
If I remember correctly, I think TNA recently sold out at 4,000 seats for. I think it was one of their
Slammiversary.
kind of. There we go. Yeah, and it was when AW went to Cardiff, I think, did like the same attendance and everything like that. And that was them going overseas and all of that. So I think that's a perfect comparable of you got literally TNA doing their pay-per-view sold out at 4,000. You've got AW doing their international show in Cardiff, a market they don't touch, that wrestling rarely touches, does 4,000 seats. To say TNA is a dead brand, like you're fucking postal at this point, because I mean,
Right.
Scott D'Amore built a whole other wrestling promotion off of what he did with being in TNA and everything. We thought TNA was going to die when he left.
Right.
Right.
Any final thoughts on this main event? It's really, by the way, it was pretty much 96%. It was 100 for like the entire time. One person threw in a vote. So it's probably Nick, but 96%.
Say his name and here. But well, how do you guys feel No Mercy overall as a whole and everything? Like now that we've gone through the whole match card. Solid show?
Yeah.
Yeah, solid show. I think that the biggest match I'm looking forward to is the Roxanne and Jada Parker. I'm really excited for that.
Miss Parker.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of intrigue. I think, like you said, even a match that kind of came together quickly, and Jada's still kind of a bit of an unknown. I think she's done a great job and kind of put herself to the forefront. I think it's going to be a fun match. It could be really one of those coming out matches for like a Miss Parker on this one. Joe, like we just talked about, there's 17 different angles that could happen in the main event. Even the tag match, we can't pick a winner. Like it's crazy.
Right.
So other than Oba feeling like a slam dunk, this has got a lot of fun and a lot of potential. And the list of people that could potentially show up makes it even just a nice little extra cherry.
Right. I do like this though from Proponzo saying, come on, TNA isn't on a real TV channel. I can't tell my wife watch TNA. Well, that's normally because what you're trying to show her with TNA is on xxx.com and everything like that. So.
Yeah. Careful when you're Googling the show, folks.
Right. Yeah. Put on, your safe browser.
Your safe browser, right? Now, before we get into TNA Emergence, folks, maybe Nick will tell everybody what's coming up on the channel.
Folks, we do have the Friday night, the mega stream, mega stream tomorrow, to where we've got New Japan Capital Collision. We've got Friday Night SmackDown live from Berlin. Actual tape delay, but yeah, we'll be live for it. We've got TNA Emergence. We've got Rampage on AW as well. We've got Saturday, we've got Bash in Berlin live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brunch with the boys, 13, Unlucky 13 out here. Figures we're out there with the Germans with Unlucky 13 and everything like that. Yeah, we're here with Brunch with the boys Sunday. No Mercy at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Daylight Time. Watching anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling.
Absolutely, folks. We watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. The nicest thing you could do is take our link and drop it anywhere you talk about wrestling. We are pushing towards 6K, our next milestone, and just past 5.6 a couple times. But heading towards 6K, heading towards 10K. We are growing fast, and we appreciate all the love. So make sure you don't miss a minute. Like I said, it's not an exaggeration when we say we watch more wrestling than anybody else out there.
Thank you. I ran out of breath.
That's all right. It happens, man. Dude, it's a lot.
Yeah, if we could stop adding more shit, we might be nice.
One last thing we'll touch on real quick is now available your Meltzer t-shirts. Go get them. 100% of the profits go to the North American World Literacy Foundation. We want to help people in the world read. So, folks, go get yourself a t-shirt. Support the cause of, not my Uncle Dave, and help spread the word, the anti-Dave word, and the pro-literacy word. Get in there. Gentlemen, it's a good cause.
100% is a thing that next to showers is probably the next most needed thing in the pro wrestling community is literacy. Absolutely, I will say that 100%, and that's why we even had to spell it out in a way that Meltzer himself might be able to understand, because he can and awe every time we had a star there and everything. And because he can't even give anything a 5-star rating anymore. Like, even at this point, like, I could go and sneeze and somehow drop an elbow on my cat and he'd rate it 5 stars at this point with how fucking out of touch his ratings are. We had to sit there and throw a 6-star into it.
That's not true. If your cat used to work in New Japan or
in the Tokyo Dome. Yeah.
Let's be real. It's not everything.
I got an Oriental cat then, I guess. I don't know.
TNA Emergence is the last pay-per-view, or the next pay-per-view we're going to cover. We might rapid fire through New Japan at the very, very end. Anthony, run us through some of the kind of Cole's notes and TNA for those who aren't paying attention.
So what we got going on right now in TNA is we still got the feud with Ash by Elegance and Jordan Grace. Actually, they're having a match tonight called Match by Elegance. I don't know what that is, so I'm excited to see that tonight. We also have a big 6-person tag team match: The System versus Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana. And basically all that started with The System taking out Jeff Hardy, Moose beating Matt Hardy at Under Siege, I think it was. And then Mike Santana just, being taken out by JDC, which was a call from the big dog Moose to take him out before we got to Slammiversary. So that's kind of where we are. Those are kind of the big things. And then we got Nick Nemeth versus, I think it's Josh Alexander. The first match was a 30-minute time limit. It was like TV time remaining. They didn't make it. So that's how we got to the 1-hour Iron Man match that is happening tomorrow. That's why this card is, I think, just 6 matches because of the 1-hour Iron Man match.
There you go. All right, folks. Well, thank you for that, Anthony. The first match that we will bring up, Kushida taking on Kazarian.
So this is going on the Countdown show, I think it is. I think Frankie Kazarian at this point is out of his mind, calling himself the king of TNA, and I think Kushida just has had it. The thing with Kushida though is they kind of dropped the whole feud with Jonathan Gresham. They dropped the whole dark gimmick predicted all of it, and he just basically said he was sick the past couple of months. So we went through all that build to yes, we went through all of that build for them to just drop the whole spooky thing with Jonathan Gresham, because Kushida had turned. He was kind of turning into this evil thing, and I think we were getting to the pinnacle, and then it just dropped all of a sudden. So yeah, so it was kind of weird how they did it, but I'm taking Kushida in this one, because Frankie Kazarian at this point, I hate him as a heel, and I think that's his job. We're supposed to hate him, so I'm taking Kushida.
So they dropped the whole cotton swab that we were out here calling and everything like that. So where they were literally test tubing and everything, the black glue, black goo, if I can say words, from Gresham. Just why? Well, and Kazarian, I think, is a little. He's milk toast. He's bland as bullshit at this point. I don't give a shit if he's face, heel, gray, purple, indigo, what have you. There's nothing I don't know that I could get behind with Frankie Kazarian right now. I'm interested though if Kushida wins this match, if we don't potentially get the time splitters at some point in NXT. And we talked about just in the previous predictions about Motor City Machine Guns showing up and everything. And then you slide into Kushida, a former WWE employee, what have you. You get the time splitters. There you go. But
I don't know.
Long story short, either way, I'm taking Kushida to win this match.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, again, pre-show match, not much to say about it. Kushida should win. Frankie's Frankie's a great hand. Never gives you really a bad match. Terrible builds and angles with Frankie though.
No, that's true. Because the big thing he was in was with Eddie Edwards, and the feud was terrible. But each match delivered some way. I don't know.
The Eddie feud was hilarious. It would never end. But again, everything they did, we were like, "This is so bad," but then the payoff is amazing.
Right.
All right. Let's see what the fans said real quick before this one. Kushida, 59%. So pretty close split on this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Next up,
not surprised there.
Macklin, and I can't wait for this match.
Yeah, so we got Steve McLean versus Eric Young.
You didn't just say that. You dummy. He didn't just say that.
Blame that on Santino Marella.
Yeah.
But this is a first time ever match, so they've never squared off before. Steve Macklin is trying to get back to the TNA World Championship picture. He feels like he's been overlooked, and he's trying to go through everyone to get back to that picture. But I think this is going to be phenomenal. This is one of the matches I'm really looking forward to. I'm not taking Eric Young because I'm always behind Steve Macklin, so I think Steve Macklin takes this.
A sleeper pick for potential match of the weekend. Really, it's got a lot of potential with this match. And again, this is like one of those resume matches for Macklin, knocking off EY, one of the TNA greats. So I'm going Macklin, but I can't wait for this match.
Yeah, I mean, I could almost make a case to go for EY here just because this does feel a little bit like a coin flip, but EY back nine, Macklin still front nine a bit of. He's had such a resurgence since he joined TNA. Like he's been one of the pillars. I hate that term exists right now in wrestling, but been one of the founding blocks of TNA. So I think Macklin or McLean, John McLean, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, match.
Yeah, come to the coast, they said. Have
a good time.
Again, two vets. Macklin's been outstanding. This would be a nice win to send Macklin kind of back up towards the top of the division. I think it's going to be a hard hitting match.
Right. So the chat keeps mentioning about PCO versus Mystery Monster picked by Matt Cardona's official for Countdown of Emergence. So I know we're not watching TNA live right now. Do we want to throw a name out there or anything like that?
Yeah,
Because-
easily. It's gonna
Go
be
ahead.
Crazy Steve.
Will it
Like,
be
we
Crazy
haven't
Steve?
seen Crazy Steve in months. So if it's anybody, it's Crazy Steve.
Is Steve? Oh, I like that. Is he monstery enough though?
Then I would think so, because he kind of went crazy with the fork and stuff. So I feel like it could be
forking.
Crazy Steve.
Right. So PCO versus mystery partner of Matt Cardona's choosing. I hope it's not Khan though. I'm over that.
Yeah, I'm over Khan. Definitely over Khan.
Somebody mentioned or threw out the idea of who it could be, and I really like the idea because we've got the WWE, the TNA crossover, and everything like that. No, Abyss.
I did see that in the chat.
Is an agent for WWE. He sits there and throws the mask on for one time, and hey, we talked about this even during the TNA or the NXT predictions and everything like that. Of if you're gonna sit there and you want to say that this is a fair deal and everything like that, we'll give you Abyss back for a night, and you get Abyss versus PCO. Oh,
is Abyss in ring shapes though?
I don't know. That was going to be my
He's got to hit a black hole slam and just take bumps. That's all he's got to fucking do.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like that was my first thought as well, Anthony. Is like physically, how is Abyss? Because I mean, the man put him like, is he walking around like Mick Foley? Because Mick Foley probably couldn't do a 4-minute match right now. I know he'd probably hate me for saying that.
I saw reports of how he was supposed to before he got his just mystery concussion of like just I stood up and got concussed. Of he was gonna have a match in AEW.
Be glad. Well, listen,
fuck off.
Sometimes blessings in disguise on that one.
Yeah. I could at least though see Abyss showing up of he like I said, he does some bumps. He's not gonna have to be out there, hitting fucking tiger drivers and one-winged angels and shit like that. No topes from Abyss. I mean, and it's again, he's around the performance center. We don't know. Maybe he might still have some miles on that. Might have a match or two. All he's got to do is sit there and throw on the mask, do a black hole slam, take a couple of bumps from PCO, maybe, need a band-aid or two after the match, and then, Bob's your uncle. And that's the thing is that's something that to WWE isn't a whole lot, but to TNA means the fucking world. So if you sit there and you can do that trade-off and everything of, well, you gave us Joe Hendry, we'll give you Abyss for a night. There you go.
True. No, I like that.
Completely valid, especially the whole idea of like it's one of our producers, not one of our on.
Right, we ain't using them. We ain't using them. If you have that, we'll give you Petey Pump just for free too.
Right.
He's back stage too. You want to use him?
Mm-hmm. If he could go and and we could get that moment, I would be all over it. That would be outstanding. I was trying to think of who else is monstery out there, like Big F and Joe. I
was trying to think of anybody in NXT, but there's no one.
We got Rosemary, so I mean, we got Rosemary on NXT, so I mean, why not have another part of Decay out there and everything,
right?
With Abyss,
right? Really, Abyss doesn't he have a job in Berlin? Yeah, that's a good point.
You have that. That ain't what I'm not.
But no, I mean, again, that's why we fantasy book. Yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy, but
you mean between Jason Jordan, Ari Daivari, and Shane Hell?
They got it. They can handle
etc. They got it.
Who else out there is monster-ish? Crazy Steve might be the best bet in that vein.
Well, then when you're like Khan, or are they gonna do fucking El Toro from AW to where he was what?
Oh, El Toro? Like, sorry,
go ahead. I can't remember goddamn already his name beyond that because Mortis, there we go.
Yeah, no, he signed to AEW.
Yeah, still. I mean, maybe you get him on a loan. I don't know.
They don't share anymore. They don't share with TNA anymore.
Dijak wouldn't be a bad show, but that'd be interesting.
Having Dijak on the Countdown show, because apparently they're saying it's on the Countdown show. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's kind of out there showing up, just kind of doing whatever work he can get.
Who was the what was the kid that everyone thought was going to be Brock Lesnar showed up in AEW?
Parker Boudreaux.
Maybe it's Parker. Maybe it's
Fuck
Parker.
no. Trash.
Apparently, he's been trying to get in like real good shape and shit.
That's great. Cool. I'm glad you're trying to get in good shape. That doesn't mean you deserve to be in a fucking wrestling ring on any TV show. That's great.
Right.
Good on you. I'm glad you're in shape. I'm glad you're healthy. Glad that's working out. I don't want to see you on not a fucking channel of anything I ever watch.
Right. Maybe they're going to bring this in someone from G. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Like, could it be like
fucking MDK? Oh,
get out! Oh man,
Gage versus PCO,
right? Oh.
Joey Janela versus PCO. Fucking Alley Cat, Christ,
well,
Mance Warner. Hey, is it JBL? Because JBL was in GCW.
Someone else threw that out. JBL. There you go. All right. X Division, Ultimate X returns. X Division title is up for grabs. This is a stacked match, guys.
Yeah, I think they had 4 qualifying matches, 4 to 5 qualifying matches. Mike Bailey was in one, even though he was a champion, so he was technically defending his title in that match. But yeah, this is stacked. I'm excited for Riley Osborne being that person to be the first ever to compete in Ultimate X from WWE. But this is stacked. But I don't see Mike Bailey losing. He just won it at Slammiversary. I don't technically know when his contract expires. I think it might be at the end of the year. But yeah, I think Mike Bailey takes this. If anybody sneaks it out, it would be Hammerstone, but I think it'd be Mike Bailey.
Am I the only one who thinks Bailey's contract is written on like a napkin from a diner?
Yeah, definitely feels like a handshake deal type guy.
A handshake and a hot dog deal. What?
Right. I'm going Hammerstone. Give Hammerstone something to stand out. Give he's come in. He had that good kind of little feud with Josh. This kind of gives him something. It lets him run that division for a little while. I don't know what Bailey's contract status is, but he's so busy with everything else anyway. I think it would be good for Hammerstone to get it. I'm curious what we're going to get out of Hooch. We've seen him kind of be a lackey for a long time. I want to see how he looks in this match.
What about Turner? You mentioned Hooch.
Right? I love that movie.
Well, is that the one with Hotch that I'm seeing there?
Yeah, Jason.
Right,
Hotch.
I was like, you added an extra O. But no, I was honestly with you there. Of Hammerstone to me wins this. You get a little bit of when like Samoa Joe was your X Division champion,
right?
Of a guy who shouldn't be your X Division champion, but just smashes through everybody. Because Zachary, once we've talked about, might be tied up in NXT. We know Riley Osborne's tied up in NXT. So there's 2 guys gone right there. Bailey almost might work better as a challenger versus a champion at times. Turner and Hooch, I don't know. So you can have that. And then Laredo Kid, I think, is again, he's more fall guy than anything. But I really like Hammerstone. He becomes, it's something you can do with Hammerstone.
Yep.
That's not a title. Well, is a title, but not the title type of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's reminiscent to Samoa Joe of, he's the guy that shouldn't be in this division. That's the powerhouse has 3 times the weight of everybody, but is the champion. So everybody's got to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And we've seen along with Hammerstone, like you said, Samoa Joe, Moose had the X Division title once upon a time. So every once in a while, it's one of the big guys takes over the division, and it makes for fun matchup. So
I think Josh Alexander had the title at one time too. So yeah,
he was one of those give back title things of like, I'm tired of beating everybody. You can take this.
Yeah, but TNA has that thing, right?
Yeah,
where you can cash in the X Division as a world title shot. So that might also be an extra caveat for Hammerstone having it, because then you can trade that, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. I've got a title shot, a la Christian Cage.
Yeah, I think
that's still trash, by the way.
I think that's option C, where you can cash in.
Option Christian Cage, because it's crap.
Having Hammerstone versus Nick Nemeth, I think that would be a really good match.
Folks, I just want to point out, imagine a company being wise enough to pay these three faces to sit at a writing table and do this.
Oh,
planned out the next 2 months of storyline for you, and spot on.
And all I need is some THC and some alcoholic beverages.
There you go.
Tony Khan, we're looking at you. What was it? He's like 27 writers or whatever the fuck that he said. I saw a number that got thrown out about how many writers they have.
Right.
What
27.
the fuck do they do? He's just got monkeys like Mr. Burns. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
No, he's got writers like construction workers. Like one person's writing and 26
state workers
watching them.
Just everybody else watches. How do you do that? It reminds me of like Idiocracy of like, I'm the Secretary of State. I'm the Secretary of Security. I'm the Secretary of Education. Like, what the fuck?
But yeah, no,
sorry.
Crazy.
Writing, creative.
On a quick pivot.
Yes, hire us. Do it now. Words. I feel like I'm Charlie from Always Sunny. Words. Thank you.
I don't. Yes, moving on. 8-man tag. We've seen a lot of these lately.
We have seen a lot of these lately, and in AEW, everywhere we've seen these matches going down. But I'm excited for this one. The System versus Matt and Jeff Hardy, Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. It's basically, we all hate the System and we need to take them out. This is the match that this is. Moose took out Jeff Hardy. Moose beat Matt Hardy against all odds. JDC took out Mike Santana, so he wasn't able to be in the World Championship match at Slammiversary. And Joe Hendry pinned Moose for him to lose his title at Slammiversary. There's heat with all 8 of these guys, so this is perfect. But I don't think the System is at the point to kind of reclaim their glory. I think Jeff, Matt, and Hendry and Santana has this one clear in the bag.
Now we can be like Almost Sunny with like the cork board and the thread and the needle going, like, to keep track of everything on how we got to this little match and piece it all together.
Yeah, Pepe Sylvia. I keep delivering mail to this guy, Pepe Sylvia.
Right. But I hate to be agreeable. I think the System's on the way down. I think a couple of the baby faces like Santana and Joe want the rub. Yeah, I'm going Team Hardy.
Yeah, the System has failed to do. Yeah, I think that this has got to be Team Babyface here. It's even just more of who's in Team Babyface. If you have the Hardys, you have Joe Hendry, you have Mike Santana. You have the baby faces, you have some kind of baby faces, some mid-card baby faces, maybe a top guy. Like, that's your top division right there. That's your main event scene. They ain't losing.
Right. 71% of the chat agree with all of us.
Yeah.
Not much waiver on that one. Any big expectation with this as far as a surprise? Anybody else get involved?
No, honestly.
No, I don't think so. Only thing I can see happening is, I know she's in a match later on, but Alicia Edwards and Matt Hardy's wife could come out at some point. I don't know.
Imagine. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to let that out. I don't need to see that on any screen. Not my TV screen, my phone screen, your screen, their screen, anything ever.
I will say this, Nick. I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Watching All In and watching last week's episode of TNA Impact, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich had a better match than Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker.
Fact.
Don't
100%.
say that to me. Say that to him. Like I know that he that's gonna figure the shit out of him.
Alicia Edwards is like the Orange Cassidy of TNA. She's booked more than anybody. She gets booked a lot, but again, she's delivered in the ring. She's a pain in the ass heel, so I guess she's doing her job for me because I'm like, oh, here she comes. But Team Smasher was good.
I was gonna say, you mentioned Masha Slamovich, who was, top 50 overall PW Insider last year, top like 15 or whatever, getting overall and everything. So yeah, Masha's great. Everybody else you named in all of those matches, maybe not so much. But yes, we've got 6-woman tag match of Ash Bile against Alicia Edwards, Masha Slamovich, again, favorite team right there. With Jordan Grace and Spitfire with Jody Threat and Danny Luna. KJ's favorite wrestler there, Jody Threat. You gonna pick her now? You gonna pick her now finally?
She might actually get picked this time.
I think this is clear Jordan Grace and Spitfire. I really don't know what they're doing with Spitfire. It's like they took them on this kind of roller coaster of trying to be a cohesive team for them to lose that Slammiversary. So I don't get that. But I think Jordan Grace being a part of them tomorrow at Emergence is a great fit. I'm kind of excited for this match a little bit. I think this will be the start of Jordan Grace and Ash by Elegance heading towards Bound for Glory. But I'm going with Jordan Grace and Spitfire.
I feel like Ash hasn't had much success in this kind of feud. So I think I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go with Ash and look, I'm going to take everyone's favorites, but at least I get Masha on my side. And I'm voting against Jody Threat. Ha ha.
Again, you managed to find an out all the way around.
I checked off all the boxes. Sorry, Jody. I'm going to meet her one day and be like, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I never picked you. And then she'd be like, who are you? But anyway.
But so, Anthony, I will ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How is actually like the Jordan Grace Ash by Elegance feud? Matter, good, where do we stand? Like, to me, I think that this really plays into this because this might be more the bookend towards this.
They threw a monkey
continuing it.
They threw a monkey wrench in probably about 2 weeks ago with Rosemary. So Rosemary is technically trying to, and they haven't really said it, but Ash by Elegance was the one that took Havoc out. So Rosemary has been antagonizing Ash by Elegance and her personal concierge. Last couple of weeks ago, when they had the open challenge match with Jordan Grace defending her title, Rosemary answered the open challenge, and then Ash by Elegance took both of them out, which led to what is happening tonight, which I think they said in the chat that Jordan won. I don't think she wasn't going to lose on a random episode of TNA Impact, but that's what got to the match by Elegance tonight. I don't know what goes past this, but I feel like it's too soon, close to Bound for Glory, just to give Jordan Grace a random opponent at Bound for Glory. I feel like it's either Ash or it's either Rosemary, but Rosemary and Jordan don't have legitimate heat like Ash and Jordan do.
Would the idea that Rosemary showed up on NXT have might tip that as far as maybe they give her some exposure on NXT, so when you start advertising Rosemary versus Jordan, she's got a little more notoriety?
That could be the case. Didn't think about it like that. To get Rosemary to Bound for Glory, yeah, I could see that.
Well, regardless of sounding like a bad shaft of just throwing Rosemary in whenever it seems fit. But so if Ash wins this match with Grace, do we then get a Jordan Grace Ash by Elegance match potentially down this? Or like I said, to me, I think like I'm going probably Jordan Grace and Spitfire. I'm a big Dana Luna fan. I think Jordan Grace has been fantastic. I'm still waiting for when she does more, even with NXT, whenever her contract might be up. I know you don't want to hear this, but it's going to be a bidding war a little bit of if WWE is going to just, back up the Brinks trick a little bit to bring her in and everything. So post this 6-woman tag match, where do we go with Grace as a title?
I think Ash is going to be champion. I think they brought her in to win that belt. I think that's
really
where it eventually heads. Is Ash will have that belt by the end of the year.
Because I don't see who else is going to be like she's only really had Jordan Grace have had a feud with Ash since Hard to Kill. She's been at every title defense on TNA television. Well, she was at the NXT one too, but she's been at every title defense for Jordan Grace. So it's going to be Ash, or her contract is going to expire, Jordan Grace, and she's going to relinquish the TNA World Championship. That's kind of how I feel. It has to be Ash, or it's no one else, unless they run back Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory, which they did 2 years ago. Unless they do that and have Masha be champ, but she is one half of the tag team champions right now. So I really think Ash is the end goal for Jordan Grace.
No Tasha Steelz or anything like that?
No, because she's in this weird feud with Giselle Shaw. So I don't know kind of what they're doing.
Giselle Shaw, and couldn't be a potential option or anything like that. Like that's the thing.
They've done that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because they did that earlier this year, and that's what took Giselle Shaw out of action, because she was in seclusion because she couldn't handle the loss from Jordan Grace. So I really think it's going to be Ash, and I know Ash is not favorable with the wrestling fans, but this is what TNA's really been building since Hard to Kill, and I think the only choice is Ash here.
Yeah, absolutely. So. The chat agrees 82% for Team Jordan on this one. So I think I'm in the minority going with Ash by Elegance to get the W, see if it drags on.
I do just want to click on this because this is actually really interesting. Of Preem Oren saying, KJ, Nick, and Anthony, we forgot a monster for PCO, the return of Cyborg Bobby Lashley. Yeah, you're going to do it now. I'm going to put you in the hoodlock. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Hey, this is the day. If you go back and watch, this is the day that Skynet became sentient and took over. It might have been in 1997, according to the movie, but it's the same day. August 29th is when Skynet took over.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, again, a lot of intrigue. This match is going to be amazing. Like it speaks for itself. An Iron Man match for the title. It's going to be unbelievable.
I asked a question before we give our predictions.
Yes.
If you had to guess match of the weekend, or at least match out of all of these shows here. So we would have Josh Alexander versus Nick Nemeth. Iron Man match. We have Drew versus CM Punk strap match, and for fuck's sake, to throw it in there, I'll say Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, just to throw in NXT there. But
there's a lot of matches, yeah.
There's still, though, we've got a lot of really good matches that are going to be one of those that are rewatchable 2 months down the road.
Are you asking what's going to be the best match of the weekend?
Yes, that's what I asked.
There we go. Anthony, what do you think? What does this? Is it this one as the favorite?
It's hard because TNA always goes first on these massive weekends. They're always Friday nights, right? If this was going on Sunday, I really could say this would be match of the weekend. But you got Gunther and Randy Orton, you got Cody and Kevin Owens, you got the matches going down on No Mercy with Joe Hendry and Ethan Page. I don't know. And I don't want to be the biased person because I love TNA to say this one. I honestly don't know. I know this one will still Emergence. Absolutely. This one will still Emergence, but the entire weekend, I don't know. I don't know.
I think this has potential to be match of the year. It could really. Dolph's such a good performer, and he gets the best out of everybody. Josh is an absolute machine. He gets the best out of a lot of people. This going for an hour, I'd be like, I think this really could be one of those matches we talked about for a long time.
I agree with you with that. I think too at times, to me at least, with it being an Iron Man match, of the times more the stipulation than how many pinfalls you get, what have you. Like that gets the really competitive. Like you can get a few quick ones back and forth, what have you, but it's when you get later into, you know, like we saw with MJF Ospreay, the 59, 58s and everything, and then you're trying to eke out, you know, get the shoulders down. That's when it really gets super compelling. And this, to me, these two guys, that stipulation has the potential to really strike that, like, scratch that itch there with that.
Byron with the draw with the overtime. That's insane. So we already have a 5-match card because the other 2 matches are on the countdown show. So having a draw at the end for them to go into overtime, which they didn't do in the first match, they asked for 5 more minutes. They didn't give it to them. Would be perfect. What I feel like is going to happen is this is going to be a very, very slow build to the pinnacle point of this match. Which Nick Nemeth does very, very well. Josh Alexander himself does very, very well. Look at his matches with Ospreay. Like they start off very, very slow and competitive, and then it just hits to a second gear halfway through the match. But having it in overtime, having a win in overtime, I think that would be perfect too. Obviously, Nick Nemeth is winning this match because Josh Alexander, I feel like he is out the door once his contract expires in February. But yeah, this is going to be a great match. This is really going to be a great match.
Where would he go?
I don't know. I know he said when they
WWE?
extended his contract, he wanted to expand his horizon, see who's out there. WWE would be great for him. So I don't know. I think he could potentially land in WWE.
That would be crazy. All right.
I have a question of, and I know this match hasn't already happened yet and everything like that, so still might be presumptively putting this out there. But is it interesting to say that potentially 2 of the clear match of the year candidates this year have been hour plus push-in matches and everything like that? Like to say that, you know, we need these really quick high-flying matches, you know, bing, bang, boom, and you're out of there. Really, the 2 main matches that have been really great, and putting a little bit on this already, but at least we saw it with MJF and Ospreay, of long matches seem to be really winning out in 2024 in wrestling. Like good back and forth.
Yeah. I would love to see WWE pull the trigger on a long match, like an hour-long match. I don't think we've seen that in a very long time in WWE. From my memory. Yeah, I can't think of. I know we had the 1-hour Iron Woman match with Bailey, but that was what 2016, 2015.
Yeah.
Since then, I can't think of anything else. The hour matches are great, and I feel like the one with Ospreay and MJF, I wish that one was actually at All In. It needed to be reversed. I don't know how they could have done it, but I think that one is up there. This one is going to be up there tomorrow. You got 2 of some of the best wrestlers in the world in this match tomorrow. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Nick. I think the hour-long matches are really kind of hitting right now.
Yeah, when you have the good storytelling behind it and it's a strong performance and you got guys like, you look at the caliber of wrestlers we're talking about. I mean, it really does, it does allow you to run it and have a long match. And again, what I love is it's this new trend. Now TNA even showing we'll go less matches, longer matches. The fans want to go on that ride. They don't want to just, wait in line all day just to go whoop and back done. They want to go on a bit of an adventure. So we'll go less matches, longer matches, more time to tell our story.
And I agree with that. And now, granted, at times you can get into, you let things bleed and then you get the, bleed over with ads and everything. But does it also help of having almost this kind of right amount of, trying to find the Goldilocks number of between, 5 or so matches on a pay-per-view still allows you to stack your weekly shows to where you can save stuff that could have been on a pay-per-view, but maybe would have been more middle of the show, open the show or anything, but you can throw it on a weekly show. Like Monday Night Raw has been stacked with all of that lately.
And I mean, and that's literally the reports that came out with WWE's decision with 5 to 6 matches is they want to stack the weekly shows. And we see it's working with Monday Night Raw. And I think it's working with SmackDown too. It's just SmackDown is just in its drought period. That's what I'm going to call it, a drought period. But they want to stack the weekly shows with other title matches. And that's great. I know there's always fan outrage every time they put a women's, championship match on SmackDown, but it is giving the women time to showcase. Like tomorrow we got the big street fight. So I'm excited for that. I like the 5 match cards. I don't understand this though, and maybe you guys can explain it to me. I don't understand where people are saying between matches there's like a 30-minute pause. I don't get that.
I think it's because we talk a lot, so it doesn't feel like a 30-minute pause. Most of the time, like when we try to do like an hour show, and it ends up being like a 3-hour show.
Yeah, it's something we can keep an eye on. I don't think so. I mean, there are long stretches, and I mean, maybe they mean from bell to bell. Yeah, maybe with a bunch of big entrances plus the end of the. I don't know. None of it ever feels like that. And my argument is, someone said it in the chat the other night of like filler, but we were here for SummerSlam and we were on the edge of our seat the whole day. So whatever they did, filler or otherwise, it worked and it was entertaining and it was enjoyable. So you can give me, throw in a couple matches I don't care about. Well, whatever you're putting on right now is entertaining. That wins out.
I was really going to time Bash in Berlin with the match in between matches because I'm like, it doesn't feel like 20 to 30 minutes to me.
I hate those shorter accounts. I fucking hate them. Like it's so fucking stupid. Like, it's not, wrestling is not a fucking science. It's science. It's not a scientific fucking equation a bit and everything like that. It's fucking art. It's a fucking performance. Like, you can't sit there and like, oh, well, they only gave us fucking 5 minutes of wrestling in this one fucking match. Cool. Well, though, with those 5 minutes, they achieved what you did with your fucking hour and a half and did it 10 times better and 10 times quicker. So just fuck off. Like, it's quantifying wrestling is a losing battle. Sorry.
Yeah. Dijak shows up in MLW tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
What is everyone's final pick on this one?
Oh, Nick Nemeth. I think he at least holds that title to Hard to Kill. If they're running that pay-per-view next year again, I think he holds it into Hard to Kill.
Yeah, I'll go Dolph.
You had the walking weapon, and you got Ethan Page both holding title gold here. If we're going to go that way, potentially, perhaps. So I'll just throw the monkey wrench.
There you go. New champ.
Perhaps.
New champ? Okay.
Are you saying that?
I know.
That would be what I was saying. I was waiting for the man in the middle to follow up.
Yeah, but no, that makes sense. No, I'm going to go Dolph. I think you're right. I think he's still in a run. Josh is going to be tied up with some other things. I'm curious about him leaving because he just felt when he made such a big deal about re-signing. Like, will he actually leave, or will it just be trying to leverage them for more money?
It could be the latter, leveraging for more money. He fits so well in TNA. Like, and it's hard to, and I said that about Deonna Purrazzo, and I was kind of right because she's not fitting well in That's just me. That's just me.
No,
but
it's not you. That's everybody. She's invisible.
okay, well, because I don't watch that much, but I feel like he fits so well in TNA. I just hope what happens is the door with the TNA and WWE crossover begins to widen, where we can see him in WWE, but not as a signed contract holder. I guess.
Last question. What's going to be the final score of the Iron Man match? How many falls to how many falls?
Oh.
2-1 Dolph.
Oh. Ooh.
I'm gonna say
Ooh.
4-5 Dolph.
Oh, okay.
I went low, you went high.
No, that's honestly, I was almost there a little bit. That's why I was doing all the exaggerated shit, because I was almost there with Anthony. Like, does this get a little bit of a higher one of? Yeah, all right. I'll go 4-3.
4-3. Okay. But you're taking Josh.
I'm still taking Josh. I think that if we get and again, this might be even contradictory of my NXT pick, but if we get an Ethan Page and we get a Josh Alexander and they're both holding title gold, I think you got the North. We're really well represented. And last little tie-in here, could that crossover all the way into Maple Pro Wrestling with Scott D'Amore? We just rope in all the wrestling promotions here.
I don't know. Scott D'Amore is pulling everybody.
Page, we got Josh Alexander, we got the North holding titles, and they show up at the North. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Scott D'Amore is pulling everybody. He's pulling Athena. Like, Athena's going to be there.
I'd see that.
I mean, everybody and their mom are going to be at that show.
Well, they're stacking it. Like, they name after name keeps popping up. Jinder's going to be there. Like, it is going to be a hell of a show. And we most likely will be live for at least part of it. But no, absolutely, Scott D'Amore is on a mission to put on a banger. So,
hi, Scott.
Hi.
Right. Hi.
How you doing? So 3 big shows this weekend, boys. Anything else as far as like anything you're looking forward to? Any big names? Anything that we haven't really touched on that could happen or might not happen or anything?
I like the idea that there's some shit we think could happen and are almost solidified could happen that probably won't happen, and some shit we have no idea could happen that will happen. Like, that's the thing. At this point, I just love fucking pro wrestling in 2020 and 2024. We sat there and we had Sting show up and shit like that. We had Nigel McGuinness and everything. Like, trying to guess pro wrestling at this point is a little bit of a crapshoot at times, I feel.
Yeah, and you know, it's hard nowadays to really pinpoint where stories are going. And I think that's a good thing. I really do. People complain about it's too predictable, but then when it's not predictable and their outcome didn't happen, they're upset. I don't get it. I really think you can have multiple outcomes of a lot of the matches going down this weekend, and all of them could be great. You know, all of them could turn out to be great. So I don't know. The thing I'm most excited for is they're starting tonight. There's like 5 straight days of wrestling. So I'm just kind of excited for that.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm right with you. Did you want a rapid fire Capital Collision? Just like no thoughts to it. Just yell out the name.
All right. Rapid fire for those who are still in attendance. This is going off of Wikipedia. So, pre-show. Matt Vandegrift versus Alan Breeze is a strong survivor match.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what you did. What spell do I need to re-say? Do I need to rewind to make things reappear? There we go. I need to just do like the Doctor Strange shit.
My finger slip. Pause. No.
Whoops, my finger slip. Glad you're not a gynecologist.
I'm with MVP down here. Who
Matt
versus who? We
Vandegrift
gotta
versus
repeat those
Alan
names.
Breeze in a strong Survivor match. Who you got?
I'm
Alan
going with Breeze. Would you go?
Breeze. Everybody's
Alan
feeling
Breeze.
Breeze. Trish Adora and Viva Van versus Empress Nexus Venice. Yeah, I said that. Mina Shirakawa. We know that name.
We do.
And Hanako. Ho.
I know Hanako.
I know Trish Adora, so I'm gonna just take her because she has half of Trish Stratus's name. So there we go.
I'll actually go with this because
I'm going with Viva Van and crew. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I know Viva Van's super talented. I know Trish Adora's super talented. Empress Nexus Venus. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your
It sounds like
desire.
Planet rapid fire in there.
Mina Shirakawa, shut up. I don't really think that they're gonna win, but yeah.
Next.
Well,
Tamahiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus GYV versus TMDK of Bad Dude Tito and Robbie Eagles in a #1 contender match for the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships.
that was a lot of names.
No.
Yeah, that's motherfucker, right?
How could we cannot get away from Ishii right now at all? Like he's everywhere.
With Tanahashi.
Yeah, I'm going Tanahashi and whoever.
I'm gonna go
Ishii.
Perfect.
GYV is who I'm going with. Anthony, do you have a prediction?
Yeah, GYV.
There we go. Kevin Knight, Rocky Romero, and Yoshihashi versus Bullet Club War Dogs of David Finlay, Clark Connors, and Drilla Maloney.
I think you said Kevin Knight. That's my TNA guy. So I'm going with Kevin Knight.
I'll go.
You're like, I know that name. I go with that.
I'll go Maloney.
Yeah, big Maloney. Yeah, I'm going War Dogs Bullet Club here.
War Dog, yeah.
Yeah. Generals Gallon in my house. Dirty Work of Fred Russer, formerly known, part of Primetime Players and Tom Lawler versus West Coast Wrecking Crew, Christ, Royce Isaac and Terrell Nelson in a tag team match player.
I don't know. I mean, I live on the East Coast, so I'm not taking the West Coast.
I'll go Roster.
Gangster party.
I'll go
Consider
Roster.
this an invitation to my gangster nation.
I'll go Rosser and company.
Yeah, there you go, Darren Young and Filthy Tommy Lawler. I'm with you there. Dirty Work. I need Mike Rowe as their manager. Dirty Jobs. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Titan with a apostrophe over the A.
Zach
Sabre Jr.
There we go.
We'll
Zack
get through
Sabre
this.
Jr.
Rapid fire.
Tetsuya Naito versus TJP. And this is a hell of a match.
JP.
Yeah, I was about to say TJP. I like him.
Oh, I'm going Naito. So give me Naito with that.
Naito, very soon.
Night over. Yes. TMDK versus which is Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, also known as Shane Thorne, versus our favorite Hechicero and Virus. I'm shitting you not. The man's wrestling name is Virus.
Give me TMDK.
Yeah.
In the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. Yeah.
Let's go that way.
And then in a singles match, if Hiromu loses, he must publicly say that Ali is the best junior heavyweight wrestler in the world as Mustafa Ali versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Takahashi.
I'm with KJ.
I'm going Ali, goddammit, then. I don't know what we're laughing at, but you can have that.
Next one.
Gabe Kidd versus Blackheart Leo Rush for the Strong Openweight Championship.
Gabe Kidd.
Leo Rush, I guess.
I'll take Gabe Kidd. I'm waiting honestly for like Gabe Kidd to get snatched up by somebody because man's just like fuck you,
picking fights with everybody.
Yeah, and then the main event of the evening, Mercedes Moné, CEO, defending the Strong Women's Championship versus Momo Watanabe.
Let's go, Sasha.
Yeah, Mercedes has this CEO. Yeah, she has this.
I just want to go Momo because just to hell with CEO. Like I know Okada's out there. Like I know how this is gonna go. Like I know I'm not right here.
Nick's going Momo.
I can't support that.
Nick's going Momo.
It's one of those. You have Okada out there coming down with the vapors, feeling hot and bothered because he gets to do the CEO dance with Mercedes Moné. It's like the kid that gets to sit there and, if all the rain drops, we're lemon drops and gumdrops, we're fucking Barney and shit. What the fuck are we doing out here?
Right. Is that all? Is that the final match? Like the main event?
That is the main event. That is the end of all the wrestling, I guess, on the weekend that we're going to talk about. That is, I guess, the best way to cap this shit off. Of Mercedes Moné is the way to end this.
Right.
CEO.
I'm flipping it. I swear to God, I'm tagging her in it. See if she'll give us some love. Of you your dance.
CEO. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna clip all that together of you two doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our predictions. That's our previews, folks. We will be here live for all of it. We got so much content coming your way. We're working on more things. If you were paying attention tonight, there was a teaser for something else that we're planning, even though it was an accidental teaser and a finger slip. But make sure you like, share, subscribe. We thank you for being a part of the show tonight. Gentlemen, any final thoughts on anything? I think I already asked for final thoughts half an hour ago, but
enjoy professional wrestling this weekend.
That's the best advice ever. But yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow everything. Big Nick.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. What are you talking about? That wrestling, but about that for life with it.
The mega stream tomorrow night, 4 shows. Make sure you're there. See you on the flip side. Good night.